my father owned a golf course. It was a 9-hole golf course. We had a Scotch pro working for us. Well, I'm 6 years old, and I go into the shop one day, and it had rained, so there weren't any golfers playing. And I walked in. I was a mean little kid. I mean, mean. And the man hated for me to come into his shop because I disarranged everything there. I asked him, what country you buy this? How much does it cost? How much you going to sell it for? Who are you going to sell it to? You know, it aggravated the tickets out of him. And I said to him this day, since there's nobody playing out there, I says, may I have a lesson today? He says, sure, Lottie. He says, I want you to take this much in the blinks. I want you to walk out to that bank. There's a bank about 6 or 7 feet tall, and it was muddy. It was kind of red, kind of clay-looking bank. I want you to stand about a foot away. I want you to swing the club head into that bank. But if you have mud on your sleeve when you come in here, I'm going to kick you right in your back end. And it taught me how to release the shaft and the club head. You can't make it. If your hand don't turn over, your arm will hit. You got to uncock your hand. Then you have to turn over to make the club get ahead of your arms. Most everybody's trying to pull the club through the ball, and they'll break the arm. But I learned that fast. Now, how I met Stuart Maiden, the teacher of Bobby Jones, I moved into Atlanta just about a block away from Bobby Jones' home, and we're about 2 blocks or so away from East Lake Country Club. Well, I used to go over there and slip in, and he'd catch me. And he says, man, he says, you're the most persistent person I've ever seen. He said, I can't keep you off. But if I catch you around here on Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to never let you come again. And he was teaching Bobby Jones, and Bobby Jones has just coming from England, and he just won the amateur championship over there. And he was having some trouble making the ball go straight. And I was out there decided Mr. Maiden will let me use his balls, and I'd go out there and hit the ball while Jones were hitting them, understand? This Stuart Maiden was a very knowledgeable professional. And he called me, he says, laddie, come over here and show this man how to hit. They had a lake there 300 yards long, and we're using wooden shafted club and a leather grip club, very whippy in a way. You have to learn how to roll those arms to keep it in the fairway. So I knocked it over this lake on the fly. and Bobby Jones looked rather disgusted, but he said, laddie, son, how did you do that? I said, Mr. Maiden will tell you how it's done, you know, and I walked away, you know.
And that kind of set the foundation for the releasing motion that we're
going
to need some active force applied to the grip by our hands to square the club face up with the fairway if you're not going to leave the face open. If you did not have this force being applied to the grip of the club with your hands, you will leave the face open, and of course your slice will come back. So I'm going to line up my left elbow next to the pole here. You could use a tree for this. You can do it slow at first. I'm going to take the club back wide to the side of my body, and I'm going to wrap it around the pole this way without allowing my elbow to touch the pole. This is really a magic move, not just to cure your slice, but to also pick up a ton of club speed and distance. Watch how my right forearm freely passes over the top of the left, and if I start doing it a little quicker, you can actually hear a little swoosh come out of this. I don't recommend doing that right away so you don't injure either your arm or your club shaft on the pole or the tree that you're using. But I want you to do about 30 or 40 or 50 of these a day if you're a slicer. And with your new grip and your new path of shaft coming into the ball, I think you're going to have a hell of a fun time in your next round of golf.